name is Joanne Gillespie. I'm president of Humanists of the Treasure Coast, and you're listening to How Do You Humanist? This is our new podcast. This is our first segment, and I'm sitting here this afternoon actually, with our founder, Joe Beck. Humanists of the Treasure Coast was founded about 12 years ago?
About 12 years ago.
About 12 years ago. So, Joe, tell me, when you first decided to found this amazing organization that has grown quite a bit in 12 years, what was on your mind?
Well, Joanne, when I came to Florida, I was dumbfounded at the fact there were just so many people who had negative impressions of people who tried to be ethical and who weren't religious. So I decided I wanted to make certain that we had a home base for people who were non-religious, humanists, atheists, agnostics, whatever, religious skeptics. Wanted to make certain that they had a home base. And I wanted Humanists of the Treasure Coast to be that home base for people from Jupiter to the south to maybe Sebastian to the north.
And that's kind of pretty much how it's worked out.
Yes, as a matter of fact, as you know, it's interesting. This last few years, we were hurt by the COVID situation, so
Yes.
We weren't able to meet in person. But fortunately, we were able to bring in people from other areas that normally would not have driven into a meeting.
Now, our organization attracts humanists, atheists, agnostics, free thinkers. A lot of people have different ways they identify themselves. And then we know all about nuns, right?
Yep.
Nuns are people who, when they're filling out a form, they have to identify their religion, they pick nun. So that segment of our population is growing and growing. Almost like 25% of our population are nuns.
Mm-hmm.
So they may find us a good community for them. But I think sometimes people are confused about what it means to be a humanist, or specifically a secular humanist, because we are a secular humanist organization. Maybe you could let our listeners know what that means?
Thank you, Joanne. Yeah. Essentially, secular, as you know, simply means non-religious. It doesn't mean anti-religion, it just means non-religious. And humanism, it's such a warm and fuzzy word. A lot of folks try to use that. They try to associate themselves with that term. But essentially, humanism means you're focusing on meeting human needs in the here and now, as opposed to waiting for salvation or expecting a supernatural being to help you in some way.
I'm always amazed when I hear people comment, how can you determine right from wrong without a religion? And we sometimes say, oh, we're good without God. But I believe that we are intrinsically good. Not everybody's good, but intrinsically we are good, and we want to be in a society that reciprocates our goodness and that compounds. What do you think about people who say, oh, how can you know the difference between right and wrong if you're not belonging to a religion?
Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting question, and we know that if you have a court case, if you're a defendant in a court case, you couldn't claim, well, I just had no idea that was wrong because I had no religion. We know that there's an inner voice in all of us that would say, if you're seeing a kitten or a puppy, there's an urge to treat the animal nicely. If you don't, I think the entire world would say that's not a very nice act. So essentially, we believe that human beings have the ability to look at a situation, judge it, and then determine what's a compassionate yet reasonable way to act.
I truly believe that in this area, the Treasure Coast, we have probably many people who would identify themselves as free thinkers or humanists or agnostics. They don't even know that we're here. And so that's why I'm so happy we're doing this podcast. And we can get the word out and let more and more people know that if they are like that, if they are free thinkers, if they are agnostics, they are humanists, there is a place for them. And a lot of people don't know that. And in our community, which is, I think, predominantly Christian, I think people can feel isolated if they are non-believers, like us.
Yes.
So we have our happy humanist back here. He's kind of the symbol of humanism. Humanists of the Treasure Coast is a member of the American Humanist Association and an affiliate of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. We hope you'll check us out. If you want to find out more about Humanists of the Treasure Coast, just go to humtc.com. and have a great day.